Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Highway 47 here, and this is Dracofunk. And welcome back to my Reusable Space program. This is episode 17. And we are launching some fuel tanks into orbit. These are supplies that are desperately needed in Duna. In the Duna system, not in Duna. In the Duna system. And our goal this season is to set up the Duna system as part of the Reusable Space program where they are generating... where they are generating their own fuel and are sustaining themselves. And getting these fuel tanks there will help them achieve that goal. For this mission, we will be sending 2 fuel tanks to Duna. But before we do that, we have to get them into orbit and get them to the craft that will take them there. So this is just one of the 2 fuel tanks launched on board this reusable booster. And I just want to get it circularized in a nice orbit so it's easier to rendezvous. So get it in a 100 kilometer, at least close to 100 kilometer circular orbit. And that is one booster, and this is the second one. And I've been thinking about this, because this is episode 17. Ooh, I lost all the fins. Reusable. Yeah, so the idea is all those boosters and strap-on jet engines are recovered and hopefully mostly not exploded. And they can be reused on subsequent launches, just as this booster can land and be recovered and re-equipped and launched again. This launch did not go as well as planned. I lost the fins, but doesn't seem to matter. We managed to get this into an orbit. Not quite as circular as the last one, but nonetheless in orbit. Now it's time to launch the craft that will take them to Duna. And it is inside of this really odd-shaped fairing. And I'm hoping I can get this into orbit without much incident. Now, if you've been following along the 100 subscriber special a few weeks ago from when this came out, I recorded and I had a cold. I did the voiceover for this the same day. So I still have my cold. So if I sound funny, that's why. I mean, funnier than normal. Hey, there goes the fairing, and now you can see the craft. And this is a special craft designed to be able to land from Duna orbit onto the surface of Duna and then fly back up. And it can act as a ferry between the surface of Duna and the orbiting Duna space station. And on its own, it does not have enough delta V to get Duna. But it's going to dock with those 2 fuel tanks, and once we'll probably have to do a refueling mission to get both those tanks refilled. And once we do that, it will have enough Delta V to make it from Kerbin to Duna. Unfortunately, even though I had planned on it being this episode, it's not going to be this episode. And I'm trying not to be trying to mute if I have any sniffles and coughs, but probably missing some. So it has rendezvoused with the first booster, and now the problem is I don't want this booster to be on the front. I need it to be on the back, but that means I'm going to have to pull it away from the booster and pull the fuel tank off and then undock and redock to the back of the lander. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is I have all these craft that I need to get to the Duna system. I have all this hardware I need to get. And this is just the most efficient way, so I'm sending craft and hardware at the same time. And I'm just going to take as much fuel I can off of that booster to refill all the tanks. Even the monopropellant tanks, even though I don't really need that much, it's easier to get it now. Because the further away from Kerbin I get, the harder it's going to be. And now I can just pull that away from the booster. And once it's far enough away, I'll actually undock. Now, I like to rename my boosters Land Me. So the next chance I have, and they already have a Land Me out there, so this is Land Me 2. By the end of this episode, I think I go through and count all. I think I have 7 boosters that need to be landed because I've been really bad about staying on top of that, which is something I need to get better at. So here I'm heading for another rendezvous. Probably to get the other booster. But before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and flip this to the back. I'm just doing this visually. Trying to keep everything lined up as best I can, and there's a little bit of rotation on that tank, which is annoying, so I'm going to have to keep correcting ever so slightly. But hopefully, once I get close enough, the magnetism between the docking ports should pull it right in. And there we go. Now I'm just using the rendezvous planner, transfer fuel to filling up the main tanks right now. And the reason it's not going to go to Duna this episode is I want it basically to be completely full before I send it to Duna. Just so, because I like to have at least around 4,000 delta V to get to Duna. And, well, between 3,500 and 4,000. And you can do it with less, but there's less of a margin of error. In reality, it takes about 1,200 delta V to get a Duna encounter. And then, if you're careful, you can get a Duna capture with another 800 or so, but then you got a rendezvous with any craft in Duna orbit. So it's possible to do it in under 3,000 delta V. But I want to be able to maneuver once I get to Duna, and it needs to dock with the space station because I think one of these tanks is going to be connected there. I had intended on both of them, but I think I'm going to change my mind and send one of the big liquid tanks, because I've kind of decided that I'm going to do Season 3 a little bit differently. And I have some interesting ideas. And I'm going to treat Season 3 more of still a reusable space program, but my goal for Season 3 is to populate the rest of the Kerbal system. And that means doing a lot of transfer missions, and I'm going to have some specially designed ships to do that. And I've kind of been working on that behind the scenes. But speaking of behind the scenes, here we are at the Ike station, and the tanker craft now is... This is what I wanted to do the last episode, and I had to fix the docking ports that were stuck in KML. If you are having problems where your docking ports are stuck, download this utility and open your persistence file, and it should flag them as stuck docking ports, and it will help you repair them, which I've had to do several times, and I probably need to do... I just need to open that up before I start any new episodes. But we have those 2 fuel tanks attached, and I'm using the little Pug RCS tug to complete all these maneuvers. Now, one of these needs to be transferred to the station in orbit of Duna. As I really only need one here at Ike. Whoa, I'm going way far out. Come on, get back. Oh no, I have no idea what's happened. I went way out of control. I'm starting to run out of monopropellant. Oh man. Okay. I'm really low on monopropellant. Probably should have made sure that was full before I took off. What am I at? 1. Okay, I'm not as low as I think. I have 123 units right now. the reason it looks so low is, I just realized, is because I have those two big tanks on the other side. And so percentage-wise, I'm very low, but in reality, I'm not that low. So we are short one tank unit, one ore tank that we will park next to that. And either way, this is the Ike Station, and next episode we should be able to refuel the lander and send it to Duna and get some more stuff there. But hey, check out our other videos, check out our 100 subscriber special, check out our audio commentaries, and we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe.